ng dalawang oil tanker galing Russia sa Black Sea.
Ating alamin kung nakaligtas ang mga tripulanteng lula nito mula sa mga detalye ng balitang ibabahagi maya-maya. Magandang gabi. Ako po si Ricky Matay.
Ako si Nina Richie Alagaw Flores. Ito ang mata ng Agila International. Para naman sa mga headlines ngayong araw ng Lunes.
Mary Jane Veloso posible makauwi sa Pilipinas ngayong linggo.
Reciprocal Access Agreement ng Pilipinas sa Japan aprobado na sa ikatlong pagbasa ng Senado.
Impeachment proceedings laban kay South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol sisimulan na.
François Bayrou itinalagang bagong French Prime Minister ni President Emmanuel Macron.
At ating alamin ang kalagayan ng French territory na mayat matapos ang pagtama ng Cyclone Chido. Inaasahan ng Department of Foreign Affairs na posibleng makabalik sa Pilipinas si Filipina drug convict Mary Jane Veloso ngayong linggo.
Sinabi ng Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo de Vega na isinasapinal na ang prisoner transfer arrangement ni Veloso. Anya, nakatakdang bumiyahe patungong Jakarta ang Pinay ngayong December 16. Pero tinukoy naman ang kalihim na mananatiling nakadepende pa rin ang sitwasyon sa repatriation ni Veloso sa magiging resulta ng pag-uusap ng mga otoridad hinggil sa pagpapauwi sa kanya sa Pilipinas. Noong 2010 ay inaresto si Veloso matapos mahulihan na may dalang 2.6 kilograms ng heroin sa kanyang bagahe pagdating niya sa Jakarta. Dahil rito ay bibitayin sana siya sa pamamagitan ng firing squad taong 2015 pero hindi ito natuloy matapos maaresto naman ang mga recruiters ni Veloso na umano'y nagsilid ng iligal na droga sa kanyang bagahe.
Naghahanda na ang siyam na konsulado ng Pilipinas sa Estados Unidos para tulungan ang mga undocumented Filipinos na nais umuwi ng Pilipinas. Sa isang media interview, sinabi ni New York Consul General Senen Mangalili na nakahanda silang tumulong sa mga makakaapektong Filipino na mass deportation at bagong immigration policies na inaasahang ipatutupad ng Trump administration. Dahil po dito, ay naglaan din ang Department of Foreign Affairs ng pondo para sa bawat konsulado sa US para sagutin ang plane tickets ng mga undocumented Filipinos na nais nang makauwi sa Pilipinas. Hinimok din ng Consul General Mangalili na kinauukulan o sa ikinauukulan na lumapit sa konsulado dahil anya hindi sila mag-aatubiling tumulong sa mga ito. Ayon sa Department of Migrant Workers, mayroong 370,000 undocumented Filipinos ang kasalukuyang naninirahan sa US, kung saan karamihan sa mga ito ay Pilipino o Filipino-Americans na matatagpuan sa California, Hawaii, New Jersey, Texas, Illinois at Washington, D.C.
Pinayuhan ni Senator Amy Marcos ang kanyang kapatid na si Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. na masusing suriin ang inaprobahang 6.352 trillion pesos na General Appropriations Bill o 2025 GAB. Kinukwestiyon ng senadora ang ilang probisyon ng final version ng GAB, gaya na lamang ng kontrobersyal na ayuda sa Kapos ang Kita program o AKAP na dati na niyang tinanggal, ang zero subsidy para sa PhilHealth, maging ang pagtaas ng budget ng Department of Public Works and Highways o DPWH sa 1.1 trillion pesos. Binigyan din ni Senador Amy na hindi bahagi ng National Expenditure Program o ng budget proposal ang AKAP. Hindi nga rin anya ito binanggit ni Pangulong Marcos noong SONA. Nakiusap din ang senadora kay Pangulong Marcos na ipaalala na ang pakikialam ng mga mambabata sa ilang departamento at sangay ng gobyerno ay labagaan niya sa batas at sa konsensya ng tao. Pinayuhan pa ng opisyal ang kanyang kapatid na mag-ingat sa mga pinagkakatiwalaan at pakinggan ang boses ng taong bayan para sa kapakanan ng mas nakararami at ng mga nangangailangan. Samantala, sa oras na pirmahan at hindi i-veto ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. ang ilang questionableng probisyon sa 2025 national budget, ay dudulog ang ilang senador sa Korte Suprema upang questionin ang mga nasabing probisyon. Pinaninindigan ni Senador Pia Cayetano isang paglabag sa batas na gawing zero ang budget ng PhilHealth. Anya, dapat 80% ng kinikita sa mga produktong tobacco at sugar-sweetened beverages ay inilalaan sa PhilHealth bilang tulong sa mga pasyenteng mahihirap na walang kakayahang magpagamot. Paliwanag ni Cayetano, ang porsyentong ito ay kailangang ibigay dahil ito anya ang nakasaad sa batas. Inireklamo naman ni Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri ang pagtanggal ng pondo para sa Poplar Radar at iba pang gamit ng Department of Science and Technology o DOST na para sana sa pagmomonitor ng mga bagyo at ng mga kalamidad. Hinikayat din ni Zubiri ang Pangulo na gamitin ang kanyang veto powers para sa natapyas na 12 bilyong pisong pondo para sa Department of Education o DepEd. Anya, ayon sa paragraph 5, section 5 ng Article 14 ng 1987 Constitution, dapat bigyan ng Estado ng pinakamataas na prioridad ang edukasyon sa budget. Ngunit sa inaprobahang GAB, nasa 737 billion pesos lamang ang budget para sa DepEd. Mas mababa ito kumpara sa budget ng DPWH na nasa 1.1 trillion pesos.
Almost 42 billion on the education sector. So sana po ma-remedy pa po ni Presidente yun. May veto powers po siya. Sabi nga po ni Senator Ping Lacson ay the President should exercise his veto powers on these line item budgets, no, of our different departments. So sana mai-restore po uli yun. Kasi yung natanggal ay 10 billion on computerization. Dyan pa naman tayo mahina. Ang hina ng ating mga kabataan dahil wala silang access to computer systems, hindi nga sila marunong gumamit ng iba, gumamit ng computers.
Plano namang ibalik ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ang 10 bilyong pisong budget cut ng Department of Education o DepEd. Ayon po sa Pangulo, ang pagtapyas ng pondo ng DepEd mula sa orihinal nitong panukala na 748.6 billion pesos hanggang 737 billion pesos ay kontra sa policy direction ng gobyerno. Inaayos na anya ng mga liderato ng Senado at ng Kamara maging ng BICAM ang mga detalye para sa budget ng DepEd.
Because yung nawala na 10 billion comes from the computerization, computerization item. So we're working on it to make sure that we will restore it. I do not want to line item veto anything because that just gets in the way. So we are still talking about it and trying to find a way.
Sa issue naman ng zero subsidy para sa Philippine Health Insurance Corporation o PhilHealth, piniliwanag ng Pangulo na may 500 billion pesos na reserbang pondo ang ahensya.
The reason that is we do not want to subsidize it is because the subsidy will lang doon sa bank account ng PhilHealth, hindi magagamit. Marami tayong paggagamitan noon. So that's a simple explanation there. Is that they have sufficient funds to carry on. Because ang problema sa PhilHealth, ang problema ngayon sa PhilHealth, hindi tungkol sa pagbigay ng serbisyo. Hindi sa pagbigay ng insurance cover. Hindi yan ang problema na kulang sila sa budget kaya hindi sila nakakapag-alaga ng tao. Kulang sila sa budget kaya maliit ang bayad. Hindi yan ang problema. Ang problema, kung titignan ninyo, you look at the reports that are happening, sa dami ng bagong services ng PhilHealth, sa dami ng mga bagong payment na binibigay ng PhilHealth, nababara ang sistema.
Naka-heightened alert na ang buong puwersa ng Philippine National Police o PNP simula kahapon bilang bahagi ng seguridad ngayong holiday season. Ipinakalat ng PNP ang aabot sa 47,000 kapulisan sa buong bansa. Kasama sa tinututukan ng mga transport terminals, malls at mga pasyalan na inaasahang dadagsain ng mga tao. Magtatagal naman ito hanggang 6 ng Enero susunod na taon. Samantala, hindi magpapatupad ng suspension of police operations o SOPO ang PNP laban sa mga rebelding grupo. Una na ring inalerto ng pambansang pulisya ang kanilang mga ground commanders na paigtingin ang seguridad sa kanilang mga kampo at mga istasyon ng pulis mula sa pag-atake ng mga rebelde.
Patuloy pa rin ang pagbuga ng usok-katabo ng Bulkang Canlaon. Isang linggo matapos ang pagputok nito, ayon po yan sa PHIVOLCS. Sa monitoring ng PHIVOLCS, sa loob ng nakalipas na 24 oras ay naobserbahan nila ang mahina at tuloy-tuloy na degassing na may kasamang ash emissions sa Canlaon. Nitong linggo ay naitala ng PHIVOLCS na nagbuga ang bulkan ng higit sa 6,500 tons na sulfur dioxide. Nanatili pa ring nakataas ang Alert Level 3 o magmatic unrest sa Canlaon, kung saan nanatili pa rin ang posibilidad na magkakaroon ng mas malakas na pagsabog sa bulkan. Naka-alerto naman ang mga local government units at Disaster Risk Management Council sa sitwasyon ng bulkan sa Negros Islands. Hinimok din ang mga residente ng La Castellana at Canlaon City na maging mapagmatyag sa paligid, lalo na sa panahong malakas ang buhos ng ulan dahil maaaring mag-trigger ito ng lahar flow. Inabusahan na rin ng Civil Aviation Authorities ang mga pilotong iwasan muna na magpalipad ng eroplano malapit sa bulkan.
Inaprubahan na ng Senado ang Senate Resolution 1248 para sa ratification ng Reciprocal Access Agreement o RAA ng Defense Forces ng Japan at ng Pilipinas. Nakakuha ng 19 votes in favor, 0 votes o vote abstention at 0 against votes sa ikatlo tuling pagbasa ang nasabing resolusyon. Ang landmark military
Nabalitaan po namin na may mga customer na in-allergy sa mga damit nyo. Gusto lang sana naming malaman kung totoo yun.
Huwag kang mag-alala. Poprotektahan kita palagi.
Dahil sa isang pagkakamali.
Pagkakataon na natin itong makuha ang shares nila.
Sir, manghulog na ang One Fang Group sa kamay ng Baysay. Bakit nagpapakahirap ka pa rin?
Ang sabi mo, tutulungan mo ako, di ba?
Mawawala ba kay Johnny ang sariling kumpanya? Love Designer. Weeknight, 7:30 p.m. Dito lang sa NET25.
Together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Do you like it? Do you want it?
So good! I love it!
Okay, then buckle up, put the pedal to the metal, and let's ride. Rev. Be your own health advocate by turning into your own expert. We are your coach. Without any fiction and with lots of facts. Be active in a clever way. In good shape. Is quite as simple as it seems. To understand the world better, we need to take a closer look. Experience knowledge. Tomorrow today.
Mula ngayong araw, wala na tayong dalawa.
Sunod-sunod ang mga problema ni Jessica.
Kahit mukhang wala akong anong maaasahan sa'yo, reliable ka pala talaga.
Ang bago niyang kasangga,
Gusto mo si Gino, di ba?
Natakot ako na sabihin sa'yo.
Bakit naman?
Natakot ako na maapektuhan ang friendship natin.
kailangan ba niyang layuan para sa kanyang best friend?
Last time sinabi kong umalis ka na, seryoso ako.
Teka, anong problema?
Hello, My Shining Love. Weeknights, 9 p.m. on NET25.
Let's get together sa NET25.
Yan lang po nakita naming documents ng Tehu.
Mga papeles ng Tehu Industry.
Ibig sabihin, tinapon niyo lahat.
Habang si Tesu, pilit na binabaon ang mga dating kasalanan.
Wala silang mahahanap na ebidensya. Dahil wala nang natitira pa.
Pero sa di sinasadyang pagkakataon, lalabas pa rin ang katotohanan. House of Luber. Gabi-gabi, 8 p.m. Dito lang sa NET25.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Di ka ba impulsive niyan? Pagdating kasi sa pag-ibig, dapat dahan-dahan.
Masyado nga bang mabilis ang mga pangyayari?
Sino siya?
Kaibigan ko. At kahit na mas nakikilala na nila ang isa't isa,
Ba't ayaw mong sabihin sa kanila kung sino ako?
Paano pag hindi naman tayo nagkatuluyan?
si Olivia, insecure pa rin. Love Me, Love My Voice. Gabi-gabi, 8:30 p.m. on NET25.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Hi, I'm Art.
And I'm PJ.
Tara, samahan niyo kami.
Listen to our school's podcast.
At pag-usapan natin ang mga issues na mahalaga para sa ating mga teenagers.
Let's create art together in... Dito lang sa NET25.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25. Speed Racer! Go Speed Racer! Go Speed Racer! Go! He's up and flying as he guns the car around the track. He's jamming down the pedal like he's never coming back. Adventure's waiting just ahead. Go Speed Racer! Go Speed Racer! Go Speed Racer! Go!
Na-miss niyo ba siya?
Na-miss? Sino kausap mo, Mang Pepe?
Si Sarah, miss na miss ko na yung anak ko na yun. Okay naman daw sila ni Nate.
Buti pa sila.
Wait lang, Lloyd. Feel mo ba si Sarah ang the one?
The one? Huwag mong kakalimutan yung the one close to Mars.
Oo nga, Lloyd. Sino ba talagang the one for you? Si Christy, si Daphne, o si Sarah pa rin talaga?
Tinatanggap mo ba na nakasama ako hanggang pagtanda ko?
Samahan natin si Lloyd sa kanyang search for the one sa Goodwill Season 5 tuwing linggo, 5 p.m. pagkatapos ng Corina interviews dito sa NET25.
Sa NET25.
Mula sa NET25 News, ako po si Alex Santos.
At ako naman po si Ali Soto.
Matatag, matapang at matapat na balitaan.
Yan ang aming ihahatid Lunes hanggang Biyernes.
Alas 6 hanggang alas 7:30 ng gabi. Mata ng Agila Prime Time. Dito sa NET25.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Kada mustahan na may kasamang pasampol na pangmalakasang kantahan, kasama mga espesyal na bisita ang magpapasaya ng iyong umaga.
And then you discover personalities during the journey. But it was the music that kept us.
Pero we're enjoying every moment.
na kinakanta nila kasama namin yung mga kanta na yan.
So early 90s, nag-transfer ako sa Cebu. And then doon ako kumakanta.
That's why for this show, gusto namin ibalik yung 80s and 90s.
Kaya naman, magaling manood ng kada umaga 10 a.m. to 12 noon kung gusto niyong ma-LSS, Lunes hanggang Biyernes.
Together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Tumuto at pakibalita sa mga pangyayari at kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Dito sa mata ng Agila sa tanghali, Lunes hanggang Biyernes.
Alas 12 ng tanghali, dito lang sa NET25.
At sabay ang mapapakinggan sa Radyo Agila DZEZ 1062. Matatag,
Matapang,
matapat.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25. I hope you know what I feel for you. Feel like 16.
Hilig niyo ba ang mga tugtugang Pinoy?
Meron yan dito sa
Letters and Music dito lamang sa NET25.
Sa QC, sa UP, sa kalsada ng BGC.
Itatago na
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Dahil walang hinto ang balita.
Financial straits.
Mata ng Agila Weekend tuwing Sabado, alas 4 ng hapon. Ito ang NET25. Matatag, matapang, matapak.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Bawat barangay na ating binibisita ay hinahatiran natin ng saya at mga palarong pampaganda ng umaga.
At ang mga kabarangay naman ay sinasalubong tayo ng iba't ibang kwento na makulay, makabuluhan,
Well done!
at siguradong kapupulutan ng aral.
Hindi ako natinag. Kaya ko yan. Ganyan magmahalan ang mga magkakabarangay. Kaya join na sa amin tuwing alas 7 ng umaga dito kung saan garantisado ang kasiyahan mo. Ang kabarangay nyo, LTE, Love,
Tony Pe!
and everything!
Love, Tony Pet, and everything. Together sa NET25.
It is a signal to the world that we are open for business.
Open for Business with Cesar Vallejos. Every Sunday, 9 p.m.
Sa NET25.
Sa kasulukuyang henerasyon, marami na ang nag-viral. Dahil po yan sa kanilang ginagawang pagtulong sa kapwa. Pero mas marami ang tumutulong kahit walang nakakakita. Kaya naman kung ikaw ay may kilala na grupo o individual na may natatanging pagresponde sa lipunan at maging sa kalikasan, mag-text lamang sa 0915-415-1035 o mag-email sa responde@net25.com at magpadala ng mensahe sa ating Facebook page at NET25 TV. Baka kayo na ang susunod nating Certified Key Responder.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Masarap sabayan ang pananghalian ng mga paborito nating pelikula. Aksyon!
We want all of this.
You don't even know what
champion, it takes more than just being quick. You have to really believe it.
I've been waiting for this my whole life.
Comedy na masayang panoorin ng buong pamilya.
I have no idea why you're happy, but it is great!
You gotta see this.
Ready when you are.
Kaya sama-samang abangan ang Cine Throwback.
Time!
Tuwing linggo, 12:00 ng tanghali, dito lang sa NET25.
That was amazing.
Let's get together. Sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Ang mga maiinit na balita
At rumaratsyad ang usapan ng bayan.
ihahatid namin sa 100%!
100% ang pagbabalita.
100% talakayan!
Lunes hanggang Biyernes.
Alas 5 hanggang alas 7 ng umaga.
Live na live sa Radyo Agila 1062 Mega Manila.
At sa NET25 100%!
Sa NET25. Let's get together. Sa NET25.
Alam namin ang iyong pagsisikap. Dama namin ang iyong mga sakripisyo. Kita namin ang pagharap mo sa bawat pagsubok. Kaya sa kabila ng mga hamon ng buhay, nandito kami para umalalay. Kasi katulad mo, gusto rin namin ang magandang bukas para sa kanya. Hatid namin ang dekalidad na edukasyon at makabagong pasilidad sa abot kayang halaga. Kaya huwag ka nang mangamba. Sasamahan ka namin tuparin ang mga pangarap niya. Maaasahan mong sulit dito ang mga pinagsikapan mo. Sa aming mga makabagong pasilidad at sistema ng edukasyon. Mailalabas natin ang aking talino at mga kakayahan niya. Kahit sa munting halaga, makakasiguro ka na makakasabay siya sa mabilis na pag-ikot ng mundo. Sa new era, karamay mo kami sa bawat hamon. Kaagapay mo kami sa bawat hakbang. Kasama mo kami sa bawat ngiti at tagumpay.
Mga naglalakihang issue, hindi palalampasin.
Ang katotohanan ay hindi dapat itokhang.
I believe, ma'am, that we reached the point of no return.
Mga kwento sa likod ng balita, bubusisiin.
Meron po ba kayong nalalaman tungkol dito sa assassination plot naman po laban sa pamilya Duterte?
Is that normal na yung SDO naubaya yung ganyang kalaking pera po sa security officer?
ASPN. Ano sa palagay nyo? Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 10 ng umaga, dito lang sa NET25.
Together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Uy! Andyan pala kayo! Gusto nyo bang matuto ng mga nutritional food at easy recipe
Abangan ninyo kami tuwing alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga, Saturday and Sunday. Dito lang yan sa Ito ang Tahanan.
Thinking as a network, acting as one. A show about visionaries and their projects. Challenges that can be tackled together for a future worth living. Working for a more united world. Global Us. Be your own health advocate by turning into your own expert. We are your coach. Without any fiction and with lots of facts. Be active in a clever way. In good shape. Can you feel it? Do you like it? Do you want it?
So good! I love it!
Okay, then buckle up, put the pedal to the metal, and let's ride. Rev. Nothing is quite as simple as it seems. To understand the world better, we need to take a closer look. Experience knowledge. Tomorrow today.
Mula ngayong araw, wala na tayong dalawa.
Sunod-sunod ang mga problema ni Jessica.
Kahit mukhang wala akong anong maaasahan sa'yo, reliable ka pala talaga.
Ang bago niyang kasangga.
Gusto mo si Gino, di ba?
Natakot ako na sabihin sa'yo.
Bakit naman?
Natakot ako na maapektuhan ang friendship natin.
Kailangan ba niyang layuan para sa kanyang best friend?
Last time sinabi kong umalis ka na, seryoso ako.
Teka, anong problema?
Hello, my shining love. Weeknights, 9 p.m. on NET25.
Let's get together sa NET25.
Yan lang po nakita naming documents ng Tehu.
Mga papeles ng Tehu Industry.
Ibig sabihin, tinapon niyo lahat.
Habang si Tesu, pilit na binabaon ang mga dating kasalanan.
Wala silang mahahanap na ebidensya. Dahil wala nang natitira pa.
Pero sa di sinasadyang pagkakataon, lalabas pa rin ang katotohanan. House of Bluebird. Gabi-gabi, 8 p.m. Dito lang sa NET25.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Nabalitaan po namin na may mga customer na in-allergy sa mga damit nyo. Gusto lang sana naming malaman kung totoo yun.
Huwag kang mag-alala. Poprotektahan kita palagi.
Dahil sa isang pagkakamali.
Pagkakataon na natin itong makuha ang shares nila.
Sir, manghulog na ang One Fang Group sa kamay ng Baysay. Bakit nagpapakahirap ka pa rin?
Ang sabi mo, tutulungan mo ako, di ba?
Mawawala ba kay Johnny ang sariling kumpanya? Love Designer. Weeknight, 7:30 p.m. Dito lang sa NET25.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Di ka ba impulsive niyan? Pagdating kasi sa pag-ibig, dapat dahan-dahan.
Masyado nga bang mabilis ang mga pangyayari?
Sino siya?
Kaibigan ko. At kahit na mas nakikilala na nila ang isa't isa,
Ba't ayaw mong sabihin sa kanila kung sino ako?
Paano pag hindi naman tayo nagkatuluyan?
si Olivia, insecure pa rin? Love Me, Love My Voice. Gabi-gabi, 8:30 p.m. on NET25.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Hi, I'm Art.
And I'm PJ.
Tara, samahan niyo kami.
Listen to our school's podcast.
At pag-usapan natin ang mga issues na mahalaga para sa ating mga teenagers.
Let's create art together in... Dito lang sa NET25.
Let's net together sa NET25. Sa NET25. Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go! He's up and flying as he guns the car around the track. He's jamming down the pedal like he's never coming back. Adventure's waiting just ahead. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go!
Na-miss niyo ba siya?
Na-miss? Sino kausap mo, Mang Pepe?
Si Sarah, miss na miss ko na yung anak ko na yun. Okay naman daw sila ni Nate.
Buti pa sila.
Wait lang, Lloyd. Feel mo ba si Sarah ang the one?
The one? Huwag mong kakalimutan yung the one close to Mars.
Oo nga, Lloyd. Sino ba talaga ang the one for you? Si Christy, si Daphne, o si Sarah pa rin talaga?
Tinatanggap mo ba na nakasama ako hanggang pagtanda ko?
Samahan natin si Lloyd sa kanyang search for the one sa Goodwill Season 5 tuwing linggo, 5 p.m. pagkatapos ng Corina interviews dito sa NET25.
Sa NET25.
Kada mustahan na may kasamang pasampol na pangmalakasang kantahan, kasama mga espesyal na bisita ang magpapasaya ng iyong umaga.
And then you discover personalities during the journey. But it was the music that kept us.
Pero we're enjoying every moment. Na kinakanta nila, kasama namin yung mga kanta na yan. Yeah.
So early 90s, nag-transfer ako sa Cebu. And then doon ako kumakanta.
That's why for this show, gusto namin ibalik yung 80s and 90s.
Kaya naman, magaling manood ng kada umaga 10 a.m. to 12 noon kung gusto niyong ma-LSS, Lunes hanggang Biyernes.
Together sa NET25. Sa NET25. I hope you know what I feel for you. Feel like 16.
Hilig niyo ba ang mga tugtugang Pinoy?
Meron yan dito sa Letters and Music. Dito lamang sa NET25. Iba pa, hey, mo pa.
Sa QC, sa UP, sa kalsada ng BGC.
Itatago na
Let's net together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Bawat barangay na ating binibisita ay hinahatiran natin ng saya at mga palarong pampaganda ng umaga.
At ang mga kabarangay naman ay sinasalubong tayo ng iba't ibang kwento na makulay, makabuluhan,
Well done!
at siguradong kapupulutan ng aral.
Hindi ako natinag. Kaya ko yan. Ganyan magmahalan ang mga magkakabarangay. Kaya join na sa amin tuwing alas 7 ng umaga dito kung saan garantisado ang kasiyahan mo. Ang kabarangay nyo, LTE, Love,
Tony Pe,
and everything!
Love, Tony Peck, and everything. Together sa NET25.
It is a signal to the world that we are open for business.
Open for business with Cesar Vallejos. Every Sunday, 9 p.m.
Sa NET25.
Sa kasulukuyang henerasyon, marami na ang nag-viral. Dahil po yan sa kanilang ginagawang pagtulong sa kapwa. Pero mas marami ang tumutulong kahit walang nakakakita. Kaya naman kung ikaw ay may kilala na grupo o individual na may natatanging pagresponde sa lipunan at maging sa kalikasan, mag-text lamang sa 0915-415-1035 o mag-email sa responde@net25.com at magpadala ng mensahe sa ating Facebook page at NET25 TV. Baka kayo na ang susunod nating Certified Key Responder.
Let's net together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Samahan kami sa makabuluhang kwentuhan na may kasamang kasiyahan na puno ng impormasyon at nagbibigay inspirasyon sa buong pamilya. Tuwing Sabado at Linggo, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga, dito lamang sa NET25. Ito ang tahanan.
Ang mga maiinit na balita at rumaratsyad ang usapan ng bayan, ihahatid namin sa 100%! 100% ang pagbabalita! 100% talakayan! Lunes hanggang Biyernes! Alas 5 hanggang alas 7 ng umaga! Live na live sa Radyo Agila 1062 Mega Manila! At sa NET25! 100%!
Sa NET25. Let's net together. Sa NET25.
Sunday lunchtime? Looking for classic movies?
They've turned on to Elm Street.
Get ready for action!
Start filming.
Every big eye, me. Drama.
We'll race here today.
And more family entertaining movies.
There's a storm in the way.
We came here to do a job.
And all of this for dogs?
Paddington? Sorry.
Relax and enjoy your weekend noontime. Every Sunday, 12 noon, on Cine Throwback, here on NET25.
Let's net together. Sa NET25. Sa NET25.
At nagbabalik ang mga balita dito sa mata ng Agila International. Nananatiling tikom ang bibig ng China sa nabunyag na umano'y military drill nito sa karagatan malapit sa Taiwan. Una rito ay natuklasan ng Ministry of National Defense ng Taipei ang blockade simulation na ginagawa ng China malapit sa isla gamit ang naval at coast guard ship nito. Dagdag pa rito ang regular na flybys na isinasagawa ng Chinese fighter jets sa iba pang reserved airspace area sa himpapawid ng Taiwan Strait. Maliban sa blockade drill na malapit sa Taiwan, mayroon pang isang formation sa kalagitnaan ng karagatan sa pagitan ng Okinawa Islands ng Japan at Pilipinas. Matapos itong ibunyag ng Taiwan, hindi ito direktang sinagot o kinumpirma ng China. Sa halip ay sinabi ng top spokesperson ng Chinese Defense Ministry na mananatiling kokontra ang People's Liberation Army sa umano'y separatist activities ng Taiwan.
维护国家主权和领土完整，维护中华民族根本利益，维护两岸同胞共同利益，是人民解放军的神圣职责。兵无常势，水无常形。 是否举行演习、何时举行演习，由我们根据自身需要和斗争形势自主决定。无论是否举行演习，解放军在打毒促统方面不会缺席，不会手软。任何以外谋独、以武谋独行径，都必遭严惩，注定失败。
Sa kabila nito, nanindigan ng Taiwan na babantayan ang isinasagawang drill ng China. Ayon sa Taiwanese government, itinuturing nila itong banta sa kanilang seguridad at tiniyak ang kahandaang tumugon dito kung kinakailangan.
中国这样的行径是对印太区域安全稳定现状的公然破坏，更是对国际社会投入不安的变数。多位国际领袖也批评中国违背了国际的准则，对区域和平造成威胁。呼吁中国当局应该要善尽区域成员的义务，立刻停止一切挑衅行为。中华民国台湾总统的出访是惯例，台湾对外进行正常的国际交流，不应该是中国挑衅的借口。我国军对于台海的情况皆有全面性的掌握，并且能够有效的应处，确保国家安全无虞。
38 advanced Abrams battle tanks ang natanggap ng Taiwan mula sa Estados Unidos. Ang unang batch ng mga M1A3 tanks ay kaagad ilipat ng Taiwan Ministry sa base militar nito sa Hassenshu. Ayon sa gobyerno ng Taiwan, 108 tangke ng Abrams ang kanilang binili sa Estados Unidos at $1.2 billion ang kanilang inilaan upang i-upgrade ang kanilang military equipment. Naniniwala ang ilang war experts na pinalalakas ng Taiwan ang depensa nito dahil sa posibleng pag-atake ng China.
Noong Sabado, napatalsik ng opposition-led parliament ng South Korea si President Yoon Suk-yeol. Bumoto ang parlamento na suspindihin si Yoon sa kanyang mga opisyal na gawain. Ito ay matapos niyang ideklara ng maikling panahon at matapos ng ilang oras ay bawiin ang martial law sa bansa. Si NJ de Guzman para sa report.
Natuloy din ang pag-i-impeach kay South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol ilang araw matapos niyang tangkaing ipatupad ang martial law sa bansa.
가 204표, 부 85표, 기권 3표, 무효 8표로서 가결되었음을 선포합니다.
Sa ilalim ng Constitution, magsisilbing acting president si Prime Minister Han Duck-soo na inapunti ni Yoon. Si Yoon ang pangalawang konserbatibong presidente na inimpeach sa South Korea. Kasunod ito ni Park Geun-hye na tinanggal sa pwesto noong 2017. Ang mosyon ay natuloy nang ang ilang mga miyembro ng People Power Party ni Yoon ang sumali na rin sa oposisyon na kumukontrol sa 192 seats sa 300-member National Assembly. Dahil dito, nakuha ang 2/3 threshold na kailangan para sa impeachment. 204 ang bumoto para sa impeachment habang 85 naman ang kumontra. 3 ang nag-abstain at 8 balota ang invalid. Samantala, nagdiwang ang South Koreans matapos ipahayag ang impeachment ni Yoon. Isang malaking grupo ng anti-Yoon protesters ang nagtipon sa labas ng National Assembly sa Seoul habang nag-aabang ng resulta ng boto. Kahit na suspindido, mananatili si Yoon sa pwesto. Magdidesisyon ang Constitutional Court kung tuluyan siyang aalisin sa pwesto sa darating na 6 na buwan. NJ de Guzman para sa Mata ng Agila International, trusted, connected, on point.
Sa isang pahayag ay nangako si South Korean Acting President Han Duck-soo na itataguyod niya ang katatagan ng Korea sa kabila ng nangyayaring kaguluhan doon.
이 어려운 시기에
잠시만요. 한국 총리가 지금 입장을 발표합니다.
국정을 안정적으로 운영하는데 온 힘과 노력을 다하겠습니다.
Dito, siniguro ni Acting President Han ang mga kaalyadong bansa kabilang na ang Amerika na sinubukan niyang patatagin ang financial markets ng kanyang bansa matapos ngang maipasa ang impeachment motion laban kay Yoon Suk-yeol. Tinawag naman ni Biden ang alyansa nito sa South Korea bilang linchpin for peace sa rehiyon. Sa isang statement naman itong linggo, sinabi ni Acting President Han na ipaiiral ng kanilang bansang foreign at security policies nito ng walang pagkaantala at pagsusumikapang mapanatili at mapatatag ang alyansa sa pagitan ng SOCOR at Amerika. Si Han ang pansamantalang humalili kay President Yoon Suk-yeol habang nakabinbin pa ang desisyon ng Constitutional Court sa impeachment ng presidente. Naging acting president si Han sa bisa ng decree ng Constitution ng Seoul. Samantala, para naman ma-stabilize ang ekonomiya at liderato ng South Korea, inanunsyo ng pangunahing opposition party na hindi nila itutuloy ang unang planong pagpapatalsikayhan sa kanyang pagkakasangkot sa martial law declaration.
지금 무엇보다 중요한 것은 국정에 있어서 한치의 공백도 있어서는 안 된다는 것입니다. 굳건한 안보 태세를 확립하고 대외 신뢰를 안정적으로 관리해 나가겠습니다. 한미, 한미일, 그리고 우리의 우방과의 신뢰를 유지하는 데 전 내각이 최선을 다하겠습니다. 비상경제 대응 체계를 강화하여 금융, 외환 시장이 원활하게 작동하도록 만전을 기하겠습니다.
Ayon kay Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, muling nag-deploy ang Russia ng mga sundalo na galing sa North Korea sa Kursk region. May plano rin umano si Russian President Vladimir Putin na magdagdag ng mga North Korean troops sa iba't ibang bahagi ng frontlines. At dahil po dito, naniniwala si Zelensky na isinali na umano ni Putin ang ibang estado sa Kiev-Moscow war. Pinapatagal din anya ni President Putin ang digmaan at itinutulak nito papalayo ang anumang usaping pangkapayapaan. Samantala, wala pa ring direktang komento si North Korean leader Kim Jong-un ukol sa mga ulat ni Zelensky at ng Washington na nagpadala ito ng mga sundalo para tumulong sa pakikipagdigma ng Russia sa Ukraine.
Napili naman ni French President Emmanuel Macron si centrist leader François Bayrou bilang bagong Prime Minister.
Non, mais j'ai compris vos questions, mais pareil. Non, je pense que tout le monde mesure la difficulté de la tâche. Je pense aussi que tout le monde se dit qu'il y a un chemin à trouver, qui réunisse les gens au lieu de les diviser. Et ça tombe bien parce que c'est aujourd'hui l'anniversaire de la naissance d'Henri IV. Vous admirez beaucoup. Sur qui j'ai beaucoup écrit. Et j'ai beaucoup écrit parce que je pense que la réconciliation est nécessaire.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez tendu avec le président ce matin? Qu'est-ce que vous avez dit pendant 1h45? Pardon. Qu'est-ce que vous allez faire? Vous avez dit qu'on va faire alliance avec le gouvernement.
Ang 73 anyos na si Bayrou ay alkalde mula sa Southwest na namuna sa Modern Party kung saan alam na nito ang napakalaking trabaho na kanyang kinakaharap upang lutasin ang mga suliranin ng kanyang gobyerno at mamamayan. Tiniyak naman ito na wala itong itatago, walang pababayaan at walang iiwanan. Sa kabila nito ay kinutya naman ang karamihan ang napili ni Macron kung saan sinabi nilang tila papet uli ni Macron ang kanyang iniluklok sa pinakamataas na posisyon sa kanyang parlamento.
Moi, j'appelle surtout le nouveau Premier ministre à ne pas être le prête-nom du macronisme, parce que les Français se sont exprimés très nombreux dans les urnes l'été dernier pour aspirer au changement, à une rupture raisonnable mais ferme avec la politique du président de la République. Et dans l'état actuel des choses, dans l'état actuel du Parlement, la continuité de la politique du pays ne peut plus être celle d'Emmanuel Macron.
Magugunitang sinibak si dating ex-Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier ng Members of Parliament. Una nang sinabi ni President Macron na mananatili ito sa opisina hanggang matapos itong ikalawang termino sa 2027. Sinabi naman ni Bayrou na sa kabila ng kaliwat ka ng batiko sa kanya na kanyang natatanggap ay handa naman siyang pagsilbihan ng kanyang bansa.
Vous savez, la vie, ce que ça a de bien, c'est que quand vous faites un chemin, que vous savez où vous allez, il n'y a pas une minute de perdu, il n'y a pas une minute de désagréable. Alors c'est un long chemin, tout le monde le sait. Je ne suis pas le premier à faire un long chemin. Le soir où François Mitterrand a été élu président de la République, le 10 mai 81, il y avait de la tristesse dans d'autres camps, auxquels je pense. Mais ce soir où il a été élu, son premier mot, quand on lui a apporté les résultats, a été « enfin, les ennuis commencent ».
Nagpulong si U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken at Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan sa Ankara kasunod ng tumitinding tensyon sa Syria.
As the minister said, we're very focused on Syria, very focused on the opportunity that now is before us and before the Syrian people to move from out from under the shackles of Bashar al-Assad to a different and better future for the Syrian people, one that the Syrian people decide for themselves. And we talked about how Turkey, how the United States, how other partners in the region can support those efforts.
Ayon sa ulat, ang sagupaan ay naganap sa hilagang bahagi ng Syria, isang rehiyong puno ng komplikadong alitan sa pagitan ng iba't ibang kampo kabilang na ang Kurdish militia at iba pang armadong grupo. Ang naturang insidente ay nagdulot ng pangamba sa mas malaking hidwaan sa rehiyon, lalo na at parehong kaalyado ng US at Turkiye sa NATO, subalit madalas may hindi pagkakaunawaan sa mga patakarang pangseguridad. Sa kanilang pagpupulong, tinalakay na Blinken at Erdogan ang pagpapanatili ng katatagan sa rehiyon, gayon din ang pagpapalakas ng kooperasyon sa pagitan ng dalawang bansa. Binanggit din ni Blinken ang kahalagahan ng pag-iwas sa karagdagang gulo at pagtutok sa pakikipag-usap upang maresolba ang mga isyong nagdudulot ng alitan. Samantala, nananatili ang tensyon sa Syria habang inaabangan ang mga susunod na hakbang ng parehong panig. Ang naturang sitwasyon ay nananatiling hamon sa pandaigdigang diplomasya at seguridad sa Middle East.
There is broad agreement on what we would each like to see going forward, starting with the interim government in Syria, one that is inclusive and non-sectarian, one that protects the rights of minorities and women, one that preserves institutions of the state and delivers services to the people. One that deals with any chemical weapons it may find to secure them and appropriately destroy them. One that rejects any alliances with extremist groups. And, of course, one that does not pose any kind of threat to any of Syria's neighbors.
Sa Middle East pa rin nakapulong ni U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken si Iraq Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani.
Today, the United States and our partners in the region have agreed on a set of shared principles to guide our support for Syria and its people going forward. America and our partners have an important stake in helping the Syrian people chart this new path. We know that what happens inside of Syria can have powerful consequences well beyond its borders, from mass displacement to terrorism. And we know that we can't underestimate the challenges of this moment and in the weeks and months ahead.
Ang nasabing pagbisita ni Blinken ay isang sorpresa kung saan tinalakay ang magiging kinabukasan ng katabing bansa ng Iraq na Syria. Bago nito ay binisita rin ni Blinken ang US Embassy sa Iraqi capital para sa kanyang final stop ng tour of the Middle East matapos ang pagpapatalsik kay Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Giit ni Blinken, dapat ang Syria ay hindi maging platform for terrorism. Tiniyak nito na magtutulungan sila ng Iraq para matigilan ang anumang pananalasa ng terorismo. Sa parehas na foreign tour ay kinumpirma ng Estados Unidos na formal na silang nagbukas ng komunikasyon ng rebelding grupo ng HTS upang makipagdialogo ukol sa kinabukasan ng Syria.
First, yes, we've been in contact with HTS and with other parties. We have impressed upon everyone we've been in contact with the importance of helping find Austin Tice and bringing him home. And we've also shared the principles that I just laid out for our ongoing support, principles, again, that have now been adopted by countries throughout the region and well beyond. And we've communicated those.
Noong Miyerkules, nagbabala ang mga eksperto ng United Nations na maaaring masangkot sa paglabag ng international laws ang mga estadong nagsusuplay ng armas sa Israel. Alamin po natin ang detalye mula kay Kathleen Gao.
Ayon sa mga eksperto ng United Nations, hanggang ngayon patuloy ang pakikipaglaban ng Israel sa Gaza at Lebanon. Ito ay sa kabila ng ebidensya ng mga pagsalangsang ng Israel sa batas internasyonal. Dahil dito, sinabi ng mga eksperto na sino mang mga estado na nagsusuplay ng armas sa Israel ay maaaring masangkot sa mga pang-aabuso.
If lawlessness on this scale and of this extremity has no consequences, then it sends a signal to everybody else that you can behave in the same way, and the whole system begins to break down. It's encouraging that a bunch of countries have sought to hold Israel to account, and there's a very strong legal movement on many fronts. But ultimately, you need the states that matter to bring the pressure to bear on Israel. Germany and the United States supply 99% of the weapons exported to Israel. They could stop this conflict overnight if they stopped the weapons that kill the Palestinians.
Dagdag ni Saul, bawat gobyerno ay may obligasyong huwag magpadala ng armas sa ibang bansa, kung saan malinaw na gagamitin ito sa paglabag sa international humanitarian law. Ayon sa mga otoridad ng Palestine, higit sa 43,500 na mga tao ang namatay sa Gaza sa loob ng 13 buwang giyera. Nagsimula ito nang atakihin ng Hamas ang katimugang Israel noong 7 ng Oktubre 2023, kung saan 1,200 naman ang namatay at 250 ang binihag. Noong isang buwan, nag-issue ng arrest warrants ang International Criminal Court para kina Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at ang dati nitong defense chief dahil sa di umano'y war crimes at crimes against humanity sa Gaza conflict. Kapwa nila tinanggi ang alegasyon. Tinanggihan din ng ilang bansa ang desisyon, kabilang ang Estados Unidos. Katlinga para sa mata ng Agila International, trusted, connected, on point.
Nangangamba ang mga otoridad ng French territory na Mayotte na posibleng higit sa 100 na ang posibleng nasawi dahil po sa pagtama ng Cyclone Chido. Nitong Sabado nang tumama ang bagyo sa isla habang may bugso itong higit kumulang 226 km/h bilang isang Category 4 storm. Higit sa 300,000 na residente ang naaapektuhan kung saan nasa 11 ang kinumpirmang nasawi ng French Interior Ministry. Patuloy naman ang relief and rescue efforts ng mga otoridad sa kabila ng dagok sa operasyon katulad ng sirang kalsada at kawalan ng kuryente sa mga apektadong lugar. Samantala, nangako naman si World Health Organization Chief Tedros Ghebreyesus na tutulong ito sa pagkakaloob ng esensyal na health care sa mga komunidad na naging biktima ng nagdaang bagyo.
Dalawang oil tanker mula Russia ang lumubog sa Black Sea na nagdulot ng oil spill. Ayon sa Southern Transport Prosecutor's Office ng Russia, isang tripulante ng barko ang nasawi. Naganap ang insidente sa Kerch Strait, ang boundary sa pagitan ng Russia mula Crimea. Bunsod dito ay nagsagawa na ng rescue operation ng mga otoridad kung saan nag-deploy ng higit sa 50 personnel. Nasagip naman ang nasa 27 tripulanteng palutang-lutang sa karagatan bago pansamantalang itigil ang operasyon dahil sa masamang lagay ng panahon. Batay sa ulat ng Russian officials, kapwa may dalang 4,300 tons ng langis ang dalawang barko bago ito lumubog. Ipinagutos na ni Russian President Vladimir Putin sa isang working group na imbestigahan ang insidente at alamin kung may criminal negligence ito.
At narito kami para magdala ng balita saan mang dako na mundo. Magandang gabi po. Ako po muli si Ricky Mathay.
Ako si Nina Richie Alagaw Flores. Ito po ang mata ng Agila International. Para naman sa iba pang mga balitang nangyari rin sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo, punta naman tayo kay Alma Angeles para sa mata ng Agila World News. Take it away, Alma.
Thank you, Nina and Ricky. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alma Angeles for NET25 World News. On tonight's headlines. Devastation in Mayotte. A powerful cyclone, one of the strongest in over 90 years, has ravaged the French-Indian Ocean archipelago of Mayotte. The storm brought destructive winds and torrential rain, causing widespread damage to homes, government buildings, and even a hospital. And fears are growing that hundreds, possibly thousands, may have lost their lives. And a Russian oil spill threatens the Black Sea. A severe storm in the Kerch Strait has led to a major oil spill. 2 large Russian tankers were badly damaged, with one splitting in half. Tragically, 1 crew member perished, while the remaining crew were rescued. The environmental impact of the spill is significant and could have long-lasting consequences for the Black Sea. And a tourist tragedy in Fiji. Several tourists, including Australians, were hospitalized after falling ill from a toxic cocktail at a popular Fiji resort. And authorities are investigating the incident to determine the exact cause of the poisoning.
This is very concerning news out of Fiji, with 4 Australians hospitalised over the weekend. Fiji police are investigating to determine the cause of the illnesses.
Plus, residents in New Jersey are on edge after reports of unidentified drone clusters hovering over neighborhoods. Local authorities are now investigating these strange occurrences, trying to determine the purpose and origin of the drones. And the news starts now. The most powerful cyclone nearly a century has devastated Mayotte, a French territory in the Indian Ocean. Cyclone Chido's fury left hundreds of makeshift homes in ruins, with local officials warning the death toll could reach several hundred or even thousands. Take a look.
Video released on Sunday by the French Gendarmerie showed the wreckage of hundreds of makeshift houses after the most powerful cyclone in nearly a century struck the archipelago of Mayotte in the Indian Ocean. A top local official told a local outlet that several hundred, maybe even thousands, may have been killed by Cyclone Chido. Asked about the death toll of several hundred, the French Interior Ministry said,
C'est extrêmement difficile à dire. Je pense qu'il y aura certainement plusieurs centaines. Peut-être approcherons-nous le millier, voire quelques milliers. Mais il est évident que, vu la violence de cet événement, nous l'avons tous vécu dans notre chair, dans notre famille, avec nos proches, nos collaborateurs. J'étais moi-même au centre de commandement avec tous mes collaborateurs. Le plafond du centre opérationnel s'est envolé. On s'est retrouvé face à la tempête, comme chacun d'entre nous, on l'a vécu. Et donc, cet événement, forcément, il a un décompte beaucoup plus important. Nous essaierons de le faire, voilà, parce qu'il nous appartient, évidemment, de dresser ce bilan.
Cyclone Chido swept through Mayotte overnight, according to the French Meteorological Administration. The forecaster said the storm brought winds of more than 124 miles per hour and damaged makeshift housing, government buildings, and a hospital, adding it was the strongest storm in more than 90 years to hit the islands. Mayotte's islands have been a focal point for illegal immigration from nearby Comoros. In recent decades, thousands have attempted to cross from Comoros on the east coast of Africa to Mayotte, which has a higher standard of living and access to the French welfare system. According to the French Interior Ministry, over 100,000 undocumented migrants live in Mayotte. Some 77% of the people in Mayotte live below the French poverty line.
C'est le vent, c'est le soufflement du vent et la panique que j'avais, parce que j'ai crié, nous avons besoin d'assistance, C'était des cris, parce que je croyais que ça allait être la fin pour moi en tout cas. Ça nous est arrivé ici en pleine gueule, et franchement c'était difficile, c'était la catastrophe totale. Et ça a fait que voilà, beaucoup de maisons et beaucoup de villes même se sont rasées. Je parle surtout des bidonvilles parce que bon, les maisons en dur, c'est juste le toit.
The cyclone went on to hit northern Mozambique on Sunday.
Meanwhile, in Mozambique, it was also hit by Cyclone Chido, toppling utility poles, shelters, and flooding roads. Speaking from Pemba, the capital of Mozambique's Cabo Delgado province, UNICEF worker Guy Taylor said his organization was dealing with both short-term and long-term
I'm in Pemba,
impacts.
the capital of northern Mozambique's Cabo Delgado province, where Cyclone Chido has made landfall this morning as an intense tropical cyclone, bringing with it very heavy winds and rain. UNICEF is concerned about the immediate impacts of this cyclone, the loss of life, the damage to schools, to people's homes, to healthcare facilities. We're also worried about the longer-term impacts. Children potentially being cut off from learning for weeks on end, people unable to get access to healthcare, and the potential spread of waterborne diseases like cholera and malaria. It's here on the ground working closely with our partners and in support of government to respond to the immediate needs of those impacted by the cyclone. But with a cyclone of this magnitude, additional support is urgently needed.
A Russian oil tanker carrying thousands of tons of oil products split apart during a heavy storm on Sunday, spilling the oil into the Kerch Strait. Russian officials say another tanker was also in distress after sustaining damage, and the vessels had been in the Kerch Strait between mainland Russia and Crimea when they issued distress signals.
Russian investigators have opened 2 criminal cases to look into possible safety violations after at least one person died when the 136-meter tanker split in half with its bow sinking. The tanker had a crew of 15. Footage on state media shows waves washing over its deck. Officials say the Russian-flagged vessel, built in 1969, sustained damage and had run aground. Unverified video posted on Telegram shows some blackened water on stormy seas and a half-submerged tanker. The second Russian-flagged ship, a 132-meter vessel built in 1973, was drifting after sustaining damage. It has a crew of 14 people. The Kerch Strait is a key route for exports of Russian grain and is also used for exports of crude oil, fuel oil, and liquefied natural gas. In September, Ukraine accused Russia at an international court of flouting sea law by trying to keep the Kerch Strait under its sole control, something Moscow dismisses as groundless. Emergency services say one person had died in the wreck of the first tanker, and 12 other people have been evacuated. 11 of those were taken to hospital, with 2 in serious condition. Late Sunday, rescue efforts to evacuate the crew of the second ship had been suspended because of bad weather. The Emergencies Ministry says rescue teams has been in contact with the ship, which had all facilities on board necessary to ensure the lives of the crew are not in danger. Official statements did not provide details of the extent of the spill or why one of those tankers sustained such serious damage. President Vladimir Putin ordered the government to set up a working group to deal with the rescue operation and mitigate the impact of the fuel spill. Angel Membreri for NET25 World News.
Several tourists, including some Aussies, had to be rushed to the hospital in Fiji after getting sick from a drink. It seems they downed a cocktail at a resort on Vitulevu Island. While the exact cause is still being investigated, authorities are looking into the possibility of alcohol poisoning.
Currently, right now, we cannot confirm what is the situations like. At this stage, we still have the investigations in process with our team, and also what happens that we have provide to our health and police are all under investigations at the moment. So at this stage, we cannot confirm what has actually happened with our guests.
I'm quite upset about it because this isn't the first time I've come to the Warwick. I've come here many occasions with my children and my ex-husband, and never have we had any alcohol poisoning or anything. We were drinking at the same bars, and unfortunately, I don't know what actually happened, but didn't affect us, didn't affect any other people. I do believe that alcohol was probably bought in or they drank it off the premises, but I don't think it was consumed at the Warwick.
This isn't the first time something like this had happened. Just last month, a few tourists, including some Aussies, tragically passed away in Laos after drinking contaminated alcohol. Because of this, the Australian government is now warning travelers to Fiji about the dangers of drink, spiking and alcohol poisoning.
This is very concerning news out of Fiji, with 4 Australians hospitalised over the weekend. Fiji police are investigating to determine the cause of the illnesses, and we'll try and keep people updated as that investigation continues. More broadly, obviously, if Australians are travelling, be very alert to the potential risks, in this case around drink spiking and alcohol poisoning. Don't leave your drinks unattended. Pay attention when your drinks are being mixed, and get urgent medical help if you suspect that something is wrong.
In other news tonight, Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has appointed former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra as his personal advisor for next year when Malaysia takes over the chairmanship of Southeast Asia's regional bloc. Anwar announced on Monday that Thaksin will serve in an informal role working alongside other advisors from the 10 ASEAN member states. During a joint press conference with Thaksin's daughter, Thailand's Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra, Anwar thanked Thaksin for agreeing to the position, calling on his wealth of experience to benefit the region.
Stock of the excellent bilateral relations, following through our excellent relation with former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, who I have agreed to appoint as my personal advisors, chairman of ASEAN, with a team of members from ASEAN countries, an informal setup. And thank you for agreeing to this, because we need the benefit of experience of such statesmen.
Thaksin, 75, has been a dominant force in Thai politics for over 2 decades, and his influence is expected to continue shaping the Thai government. Despite being barred from office due to past legal issues, including convictions for abuse of power, Thaksin remains a key figure in Thai politics. After a dramatic return to Thailand in August 2023, he was jailed but had his sentence reduced and was later released on health grounds. Thai Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra made her first official visit to Malaysia on Monday, meeting with Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim to address shared concerns over the Myanmar conflict and the South China Sea dispute.
We will do whatever is necessary to ensure that the dialogue process with the southern border provinces of Thailand materialize, and to then resolve through a joint comprehensive plan towards peace. And as agreed, is peace with development, so they will benefit. First, to ensure peace. Second, you see development both in South Thailand and North Malaya, because the provinces in the north require additional focus investments, similarly with the provinces in the south. We are committed to fully implement the 5-point consensus. We are taking measures through dialogues informally at different levels to ensure that Myanmar do participate and bring back Myanmar to the fold of ASEAN. We have common position on South China Sea, respective UNCLOS, whilst maintaining excellent relations with all countries.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen.
President Marcos has defended the big jump in the proposed budget for the Department of Public Works and Highways, which has now exceeded 1 trillion pesos.
Because some of the big ticket projects in public works that used to be put in the into the the unappropriated funds in the reserves. Now I told them, I asked the House, wag na natin kasi babalik-balikan pa natin yan para mailagay dun sa project, which is a delay. So because sana we normalize what we are doing so that it's already in the GAA, hindi dun sa reserves. So that's what pinapalitan talaga natin the way we do things, para maging mas mabilis ang takbo. You know, we're as of the end of the year, we're 2.5 years already. We have 3.5 years left. We have to get these things done. But public works is still going to be one of the top recipients of budget, because marami nga tayong ginagawa. We have big projects that we have to put in place. Infrastructure is really important. And don't forget, flood control became such a big part of the work of the Department of Public Works. They have to build things that we never had to build before.
Indonesia is set to transfer Mary Jane Veloso, a Filipina who has been on death row since 2010 for drug trafficking, back to the Philippines. The repatriation will take place early Wednesday morning. Veloso, a former domestic worker and a mother of two, was arrested 14 years ago in Yogyakarta when authorities discovered 2.6 kilograms of heroin hidden in her suitcase. Her case sparked widespread outrage in the Philippines, leading to a last-minute reprieve from execution in 2015. Even boxing legend Manny Pacquiao joined the call to spare her life. Veloso has been serving her sentence in Jakarta, where she was transferred from Yogyakarta, and she will be flown back to the Philippines to complete the remainder of her prison term here.
Gawa ng announcement mamaya yung Indonesia, hintayin natin to confirm na nasa Jakarta na siya today. Tapos in the next few days, malaki ang tsansa na mauuwi na siya. Turn over siya sa Philippines. May delegation ang galing dito yung ako mismo, pero yung Bureau of Corrections o NBI, pupunta sila sa Jakarta mamayang gabi para i-turn over alinsunod sa practical arrangement na pinirmahan. No? Tapos tayong gumagastos, walang sasamang Indonesia na police pag-uwi niya dito.
South Korea's acting president Han Duck-soo is trying to reassure the country's allies and calm financial markets a day after Parliament impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol. Now, Yoon has been suspended from his duties over a martial law attempt. The White House says Han spoke with U.S. President Joe Biden by phone. According to a statement from Han's office on Sunday, the acting president said South Korea will carry out its foreign and security policies without disruption. He added he will strive to ensure the South Korea-U.S. alliance is maintained and developed steadfastly. Thomas I. Likeness for more.
In the wake of the country's political turmoil, South Korea is actively working to present an image of stability to the globe. In a further attempt to stabilize the Asian nation's leadership, the main opposition party announced it would not seek to impeach Han for his involvement in Yoon's December 3rd martial law decision. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says America will stand by South Korea.
I think the most important thing is that the Republic of Korea has demonstrated its democratic resilience. We've seen it follow peacefully a process laid out in its constitution. And we're ready to work with President Han as he assumes office. Most important, we strongly support the Korean people. We strongly support the ironclad alliance that joins our two countries together and that's done so much over the last few years.
Much of South Korea's population supports Yoon's impeachment. Demonstrators seeking his ouster braved the cold on Saturday to throng the streets outside the National Assembly building where lawmakers met to impeach Yoon. Police estimated the crowd at about 200,000. But Yoon has his supporters. About 8.5 kilometers away, a much smaller number of Yoon supporters demonstrated in the central Seoul area. Yoon, meanwhile, remains defiant. Prosecutors say he did not appear on Sunday morning in response to a summons for questioning in a criminal investigation into his martial law decision. They have promised to issue another order. Yoon and a number of senior officials face potential charges of insurrection, abuse of authority, and obstructing people from exercising their rights. The prosecutor's office did not answer phone calls seeking comment. Yoon's surprise martial law declaration and the ensuing political crisis spooked markets and South Korea's diplomatic partners. Allies are worried over the country's ability to deter nuclear-armed North Korea. Han told his first cabinet meeting that he takes the North Korean threat seriously.
군은 현 상황의 엄중함을 깊이 인식하고 한미 간 긴밀한 공조하에 연합 방위 태세를 확립하고 북한의 도발 등에 대비 감시, 경계 태세를 더욱 강화해 주실 것을 당부드립니다.
Yoon's future is now up to the Constitutional Court. It has 6 months to decide whether to remove him or reinstate him. If he's removed or resigns, a new election will be held within 60 days. Thomas I. Likeness, NET25 World News.
Clusters of unidentified drones have been spotted hovering over New Jersey neighborhoods, leaving residents uneasy and local leaders demanding answers. From massive drones resembling small aircraft to silent flyers lighting up the night sky, these unusual sightings are sparking concerns about safety, surveillance, and government transparency. Take a look. For weeks, New Jersey residents have reported clusters of drones hovering in the night sky, sparking unease and calls for answers. The sightings, which include drones of unusual size and behavior, are raising questions about safety and regulation. Field Representative Tony Garcia, speaking near the Seaside Heights shoreline, described the strange activity.
It's hard to really describe it. I see the lights, the red and green, blinking on and off. They're pretty high. Some of them are low. I saw quite a few of them last night. And they're mostly in this water area that I see. I live right here.
How large are they?
It's hard to tell.
And do they look different than a regular recreational drone?
Yeah, a little bit.
In what way?
They look a little bigger than I have a recreational drone, so they look a little bigger than the recreational drone. But it's hard to tell the exact dimensions or size.
And how high were they? Do they lower? Do they go?
I've seen. This was around 5:30, 6 o'clock yesterday evening. I see them mostly on the shoreline here, on the shoreline. A couple of them are different heights.
About the FAA regulations. Commercial drones cannot operate half an hour after sunset and then until sunrise. So right there you see that this is a violation of FAA regulations, which that's why I believe it's either our government or a foreign nexus that's operating these drones. And if it's not, then we really need the FAA and Department of Homeland Security to step up here, because there's a clear violation.
Residents aren't the only ones alarmed. Pickanack Township Mayor Ryan Hurd described the drones as seen.
So when I say drones, normal people are thinking about a drone, about this big, the size of their hand, something that's smaller. The drones that I'm seeing are the smallest size. There's basically two different ones that I'm seeing. One is the size of roughly a suitcase, something about this big. Another one is the size of an SUV. This thing is huge, and it sounds like a small jet. It is massive, and it looks like a plane.
You can tell how many of these there are, but there's 3 here.
Adding to the mystery, eyewitness Evan Cutler recounted a late-night encounter in Montclair.
It was just about the size of a school bus, hovering about 150 feet over the trees, and I can't keep my eyes off it, yet I want to take a picture. So I jump out of the car, to get a better look at it, and I'm also hoping that someone else is there, but it's like late at night, there's no other cars on the road. I pull over, get out of my car, it's now hovering right over the trees, and then I realize I should take a picture. I reach back into my car, grab my phone, and as I come back out of my car with my phone, I go up to take a picture, and it starts immediately zooming away, almost like it had seen what I was trying to do.
Federal authorities are now investigating. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas confirmed that the FAA's 2023 rule change allowing drones to fly at night may explain the increase in sighting.
And that may be one of the reasons why now people are seeing more drones than they did before, especially from dawn to dusk. I think there are more than 8,000 drones flown every day in the United States, that we need from Congress additional authorities to address the drone situation. Our authorities currently are limited, and they are set to expire. We need them extended and expanded.
New Jersey Democratic Representative Josh Gottenheimer is calling for stronger local enforcement and better tools to track unauthorized drones.
Together with legislation that I've introduced called the Radar Act to expand federal grants for local law enforcement, to make radar systems more available to state and local police, to be able to track these drones. This will ensure that only the drones that should be in the air. For instance, drones just a few weeks ago prevented a medical helicopter from landing to help a car crash victim in Somerset County. New Jersey can't become the Wild West of drone activity. No state can become the Wild West of drone activity.
And the news continues here on NET25. We'll be right back.
Matatag ang paninindigan. Matapang sa pagresponde. Matapat sa paglilingkod. Patikang tagapagbalita. Mata natin sa balitaan. Alex Santos kasama gabi-gabi sa mata ng Agila Primetime.
Israel is planning to double the number of people living on the Golan Heights, a territory they've taken over from Syria. Now, that's even though the new leaders in Syria seem a bit more moderate than the old regime. Israel still sees them as a threat, so they're beefing up their presence on the Golan Heights to stay safe.
Israeli forces on Sunday patrolled inside a recently seized demilitarized zone along the border with Syria, as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced plans to double the number of Israelis living in the part of the Golan Heights Israel captured from Syria in a 1967 war. Netanyahu's office said the government unanimously approved a more than $11 million plan to encourage demographic growth in the Golan. It said Netanyahu submitted the plan to the government, quote, in light of the war and the new front facing Syria, and out of a desire to double the population in the Golan. Israel sent its troops into a long-standing buffer zone earlier this month as Syrian rebels ousted the long-reigning President Bashar al-Assad. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Jordan have condemned the incursion. Israeli leaders said it was a temporary security measure in light of the instability in Syria. Amid the tumult in Syria, Israeli airstrikes targeted hundreds of military sites across the country. Syria's de facto leader Ahmed al-Shara said on Saturday that Israel was using false pretexts to justify its attacks on Syria. He also said he was not interested in engaging in new conflicts as his country focuses on rebuilding. Shara, better known as Abu Muhammad al-Golani, leads the Islamist Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, the group that swept Assad from power last Sunday, ending the family's 5-decade iron-fisted rule. Israel annexed captured parts of the Golan Heights in 1981. Syria has long rejected Israeli claims to the territory, but past efforts to reach a peace treaty failed. In 2019, then-President Donald Trump declared U.S. support for Israeli sovereignty over the Golan, but the annexation has not been recognized by most countries.
And the family of Eden Alexander, a 20-year-old Israeli dual citizen abducted by Hamas, says it's been heartbreaking to see a video of their son after more than a year in captivity.
So I've been in Tel Aviv, Israel, when the video released. I saw it with my family. It was the first time that I'm seeing my child after 421 days. It was real emotion. He was crying. He was by himself. I wish I could hold him and just to tell him everything will be okay, done. But I couldn't. And then I spoke with Adi, and we decided it's important to release this video for everyone to see this kid, 20-year-old US citizen, begging for his life, speaking to the Israeli people, speaking to Benjamin Netanyahu, addressing Donald Trump.
And with that, we end tonight's broadcast. For everyone here on NET25, I'm Alma Angeles. Thank you for joining us. Good night.